Hi-ho, everybody.
Hi, we're Kiss.
And you're listening to Metal Shop, the only show with gums. Yeah, we're old. So welcome to another exciting edition of Hey Man, Nice Kiss Shirt. Once again, I'm Fido. I'm joined by
Bowie.
Hi, lady.
And it's a tip of the Irish to you.
There's so much going on. We're recording just a little bit early.
In the morning.
A day.
Actually
early.
late.
Actually, a day earlier than I normally do because it's St. Paddy's Day. And there's a little tip of the hat to a little green cocktail coming up in the journal. And I'm gonna have a little drink with my man Paddy here. We'll talk about this a little bit later.
It's green.
But for right now, might as well do a shot.
Shot of green. Hello there.
Cheers to you.
Cheers.
All right. So as we do, before we get into the journal, Kiss shirts. Starting to scrape the bottom of the barrel here. My whole chronology thing, it's loose as a goose. We got this. Brian is sporting it now. And I'm even only slightly less vague about my own shirt. It's from 03. You can see a mostly obscured Ace here, and the rest of the guys. This shirt was a gift because I think I had expressed to my partner that I'm taking a break. Like I don't need a shirt from every gig. You know, at that point after Tiger Stadium, you're really keen on like getting the shirt with the venue on the back, you know, the
specific
date specific shirts. And I was kind of like, well, they didn't have one, and you know, Uncle Gene's got enough of my moolah right now. Even though
I'm full of sin.
Yeah, in the end, it's hey man.
Nice kiss shirt. I'll get it one of these.
You're really on the ball.
I just didn't know what you were going to say.
I didn't either.
We have to say rock and roll all night.
And journal every day. That brings us great segue, Polly. Thanks to It's All For You, Demon, we've got something to talk about. It is rock and roll all night and journal every day.
A year-long guide to celebrating
the fun
of being a Kiss fan.
And what fun it is. Let's get into some fun, guys. All right. What do we got here? Oh, the Demons of Rock want you.
Are we going to get into this later? Or?
Some of you know Alain. I don't know that we will. I was just doing a little research from that book, and I probably hadn't seen any of Alain's books, and I mean, you gotta. We've just kind of been just celebrating an orgy of various merchandises,
geeking out,
yes.
geeking out on all this stuff, because I did not know that you had these things. And I mean, I kind of knew, but I didn't know what it is.
I have many things.
He has many things.
Now I'm, 10 weeks later, I'm in that save it for the pod mode. I mean, I like to see the wonder in a young man's face when he sees some of the goodies in my Destroyer box.
So much cool stuff.
Alain's Kiss books are just amazing.
What was I going to say? Are we going to get into the B. Gene Simmons personal assistant for $12,495, and you might get to have a lunch catered backstage, dry chicken and pasta?
Yeah, or maybe like a half a chocolate chip cookie that Gene looked at. It's just like the $50,000 gold single. It's just something to get people. I mean, by now, with the proliferation of, there's so many great podcasts and so many great Kiss fans, and with
there's
that,
us.
and with that comes the rest of the story.
And that little boy who nobody liked grew up to be Gene Simmons. And now you know the rest of the story.
I don't know. There's people that just love to be yanked up about something, man, and that's just Uncle Gene just playing on that. I love it. I mean, it may only flare up and last for a week or whatever, but
publicity.
Yeah, man.
Keeping them out there.
Yep.
Keeping their name on the palette of America.
Yep. Tongues be wagging, and they say Kiss. All right, so let's get into this week 11 of.
Hey man, nice Kiss shirt. I did it.
You did it. March 12th.
March 12th.
The release date of Kiss Unplugged.
I did not know that.
Nor did I.
I had that video. What's the question?
I need that vinyl. That's what I need.
Oh yeah.
I don't have that on vinyl, and
Isn't there an extended version that has them doing like a country version of God of Thunder? I think so. Like Bruce starts playing
like
country.
raw footage of the taping itself?
Yes.
That sounds familiar. Man, don't test my memory, boy.
Never mind. Yeah, I know it. I know it existed.
Yeah, sounds right. Let us know in the comments, those of you who are more well informed. All right, March 12th. The first time you listened to Kiss Unplugged, did you realize the non-makeup era was over for good? Why or why not?
Me, the first time I listened to or seen Unplugged, I believe by the time I got my hands on a copy, there were full-blown rumors of a reunion in full swing because Ace and Peter appeared together with Gene and Paul. And we thought that would never happen.
Oh, are you talking about the Grammys?
No, before Unplugged.
Or,
Unplugged.
Wait a minute.
Didn't Unplugged feature them?
Well, no, no, I thought you meant before Unplugged, they appeared together, and no.
No. Does it say before Unplugged?
No, it says the first time you listened to Kiss Unplugged. Well, we watched it. There was no.
They weren't fully. They didn't announce it. The Grammys hadn't been done yet, but people were talking about it. They were swirling. It was like there's going to be a reunion, possibly. There's possibly going to be a reunion. We don't know for sure, but we think there will be. Ace and Peter showed up at Unplugged, and that was little did we know that there were talks, and they had been, talking.
Well, and we were just watching some of the seizure footage, the convention seizure.
Yes.
You were not there.
Seizure Salad. He was there in Detroit when Gene and Paul showed up and said, "This belongs to us."
Those are my boots.
My boots. And I didn't know anything about that until much later. But again, when you heard Unplugged, did you know that there was going to be?
Oh,
or
no.
Did you not?
No, I think you have to have a certain level of cynicism to. Oh yeah, okay. Well, here it goes. Fire up the money machine. Like I'm just. We're sitting around.
The Eagles had done Hell Freezes Over, so we were pretty much. It's like if the Eagles could do it, these guys could do it.
Well, yeah, but I didn't even think of it in those terms. I just, it didn't take long, and I don't remember when that worm turned, but I do know that at this point, the Kiss Unplugged era, I was not really thinking about, like you said, hell had frozen over for the Eagles. but I wasn't thinking like, oh yeah, this is what bands do now, legacy bands or whatever we would have called them then. I didn't even think of, I had not heard that term, so it didn't even occur to me that like there were machinations going on to cash in now, honey. So yeah, no, like Shandy's addiction, you mean? Have you you mentioned Kiss My Ass. That was one of the clips we saw, but have you heard that?
Jane's Addiction?
Calling Dr. Love?
No.
I mean, I know you love the Skin Yard Hard to Believe version.
Yes, I do.
That's an amazing cover, but yeah, Shandy's Addiction is like Billy Gould and Maynard Keenan. And,
oh, no way, really?
Yeah, there's like Tom Morello.
Oh, nice.
They're on Kiss My Ass. They do. It's probably my favorite. Well, I really like, as mentioned in a previous episode of Hey Man, Nice Kiss Shirt. I love Toad the Wet Sprocket's version of Rock and Roll All Night.
I've heard that.
Shandy's Addiction is I like it just as much. But anyway, we digress. No, I was too naive and too excited to see Kiss reuniting in any form to be thinking about an era being over for good.
Cats.
So, yep, cats. This time it was Princess.
I got a thing for cats. What can I tell you?
All right, moving on to March 13th. What Kiss solo album merch sheet do you feel had the coolest items? If you could go back in time and were allowed to purchase 4 items from any of the solo merch forms, what would you purchase?
Well, I did not have any merch forms from the solo albums, but chances are, I mean, we looked at them, and those merchandise items are very much different members, but the same setup of what, they did have the solo album faces, the 4 faces, which I probably would have gotten. I probably would have gotten an Ace necklace. Probably would have gotten
their own necklace
with their signatures, autograph necklace. I may have gotten a Kiss logo necklace, which was sold, and then one more item.
Yep, that red enamel necklace.
Yeah.
So the way I interpret the question is, like, I'm trying to get one thing from each member, so I have like, I don't know. I mean, I didn't even really like them at the time, but those autograph necklaces, the gold tone 14K pendant,
4 of each.
But
1 of each.
4
items. That's
just me today speaking as a collector, sort of wanting a completist kind of vibe. But
I had read the question wrong, and we had gone through all of the Kiss Army packets, right? Or is that a different question?
4 item? No. 4 item. That's a different question. This is just solo album merch.
Just solo album merch.
What 4 items from any of the forms would you purchase?
So that was it, pretty much. I mean, the shirt with the 4 faces, the Ace Frehley signature necklace, the Kiss logo necklace, and
the red enamel on gold tone, 14K.
And what else? That would
that leads perfectly into my answer, which is I want each of the belt buckles.
Dang, see, 1 of each.
I mean,
there you go.
I don't
collect the whole set.
I don't have any of those. But
trade them with your friends.
Don't collect them now because they're ridiculously priced.
Yeah.
I've got a Destroyer belt buckle.
He's got one.
I've got the Dragon Boot buckle. I've got the Prism logo. I've got.
Oh, you got the big gold one.
I've got a
big old gold one.
The brass one. I have what I think is a bootleg. I assumed it was a bootleg copy of the one that I really wanted, and this will appeal to Mr. Rick Howard. It's all for you, Demon.
Howard.
I think, I don't know if he's got it, but actually I don't think he does, but the rare double platinum Kiss logo buckle, which I think is just like silver electroplated, or
Oh wow.
silver nickel, or who knows what.
Never seen that.
But when I got my boot, what I assumed was a bootleg, it just looks, it's a little thin. I'm not, I mean, if I screwed the pooch on a real buckle, that's on me. But I had my buddy that builds custom motorcycles. I had him powder coat it silver, because I always loved the look of that double platinum one. But yeah, long story short, I'm a belt buckle guy, and that's what I would have done. Just gotten each of the solo belt buckles. So there's that, which takes us to March 14th, 3/14, Pi Day, if you will. If you were to get or have gotten a Kiss vanity license plate, what would it say? And what is the inspiration behind this choice?
Gymnasium.
It's a big word, like gymnasium.
Like a big word, like gymnasium.
If I were to get, I don't know, man. It's just,
there's a lot of those Kiss Army 1 and
yeah. I'm not a personalized license plate guy. I always kind of thought that was kind of douchey.
turd.
But yeah, I don't know, like, how many characters do I need to spell Where's Drago?
Oh.
I don't know.
DVRO.
DVRO, exclamation point. Has anybody ever seen an exclamation point on a vanity plate? I don't know. This is, I don't know, this is just one of those questions that just doesn't even apply to me.
See? Welcome to my world.
See?
Sorry, Rick. It's yeah, I was tuned out sometimes. Where are we at now? March 15th.
March 15th. Destroyer was released on March 15th. So let's, just because it's in front of us.
It is.
It's in front of us.
It just happens to be in front of us.
It just happens to be the box set edition, the double LP. Can we just
see?
Can we just look at that?
Can you just
look at that?
Just look at that.
See, man,
they really know how to get you in the wallet.
They really do. They really do too, man.
Yeah. It's amazing.
What else is going on in this?
It's got
super deluxe edition.
It's
cool. Just delightful. Oh man, the hardcover book with the track listing. Look at it. It's even got a nice little fabric pull so you don't pry the edges.
This is the copy of the tape.
Should we even digress into this? This is too much fun.
There's lots of stuff on the other side.
There's so much stuff. There's so much stuff. You guys, just, man, support Uncle Gene, man. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
They give you a good bang for your buck with this one.
They do, man. They do.
I mean, I would have if I could have, but I didn't. So I didn't.
So
that's
let's see. This is very reminiscent of an upcoming question pertinent to the Kiss Army kit. Man, there's just
look at it.
There's reprints of things.
This
I mean,
look at it.
And again,
look at it.
This
that's from
covers,
the first kit.
This kind of covers. Yep.
Yeah.
This was my first. Well, this wasn't, but
the first.
This sort of comprises elements and memories of my first Kiss Army kit. In
Look at that.
late. No, I guess it would have been early '77 by the time I got my junk.
Would these?
But
yeah,
this-
these were Destroyer stuff, right? These came in the album, or not all of it, but on the Kiss Army sheet, on the Kiss Army fan
there's
order forms. This is stuff you may or may not have gotten.
Now on sale.
Look at that.
God, it's
Poster.
just
Those things
so
were in the
much
record
fun.
stores back then.
But I have to make note of this because this, I don't have any tattoos, but I mean that's my first Kiss tattoo right there. Those faces are just that's just Kiss at their just badassness. Love it. All right, we're gonna move on. We're digressing like crazy. Me and Pa, we could just drool over this stuff for hours and hours. And if you're ever in my neck of the woods, you're welcome to do the same. Stop on by, play some pinball. It's not just a John 5 thing. You could play pinball at Fido's place too.
Fido can play.
Yeah, I can play.
Those are so cool. I saw these before when you unboxed them.
Yeah, when I first got these. Yeah,
and it was such a great time to see all this stuff that is good. They do give you a good
and it really just takes you.
Like the cover of Destroyer when I was a kid, I always thought the smoke on Paul's leg was dirt, and I always tried to wipe it off.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that too. Like as far as like the things that you think you're seeing, I always thought there's a piece of like newspaper. There's just a piece of paper on the ground on the cover of Dress to Kill behind one of Gene's clogs, one of his white leather clogs, and I always thought it was like something pointy, like he had like some like weapon boot, like a pointy boot that he would kick people with.
Pointy.
Yeah,
Anoint my head. Anointy.
Again, the digression in this episode. This is going to end up being an hour-long episode, and I don't care.
Because you wanted the best, you got the best.
The freshest young Kiss podcast in the land. I don't know if there's any newer podcasts than mine. Sound off in the comments. Share a link. Let me subscribe.
He's turning me on to a whole bunch of new ones new to me.
We are brothers in this stuff.
And I listen.
Yeah, he's like E.F. Hutton over here.
What's next?
Kind of segues into what we were talking about from
March 16th. 316. Austin 316 just says I whooped your ass. For all you wrestling geeks out there. And
give it to us. March 16th.
What is your favorite Kiss Army kit? What makes this specific kit stand out above all the rest? Well, to me, it's got to be the Alive 2 Kiss Army set. Kiss Army. I didn't have the kit itself, but I knew what was in it, and it was those 4 iconic posters: Gene and Ace with the smoking guitar. That's now a meme that says you should dress for the career you want. So I'm sitting in the HR dressed as Ace Frehley. He's got the smoking guitar. Paul's got that iconic 77, 78,
77 posters.
All that merch. All that Kiss stuff I coveted it. And that was the stuff where I was like, man, they got a bunch of cool shit. Those posters, definitely 77, 78. And yours?
Well, and this is where Alain's book really comes to the fore. He and Per really did an exhaustive research into the variations of the kits, and they bring up a point that is so true. Sometimes it was just so random. Whatever they had laying around at the offices, you might get, I think they were supposed to be sending us stuff like 4 times a year. I definitely didn't get 4 times a year for that many years. I joined. I got Destroyer in October of '76, and so it was probably I don't think it was Christmas. It might have even been '77 before I got anything in the mail.
I think I got Destroyer in January of '77 because I bought it for my cousin Dave's birthday. Hi, Dave. And it was
Is Dave watching?
I doubt it. I wish he was, but it is what it is. And that's I love the album so much I had to open it and find out if it worked. And the weird thing is that the label inside the record was Parliament Funkadelic Mothership Connection. So I would have had one of the collectors upon collectors items.
You got the wrong. The wrong Casablanca label.
I did.
Huh.
Mothership Connection. And I was like, what in the hell? So I had to play it to make sure that I had the right album, and then I kept it. And then it got destroyed.
Good thing you kept it.
Somebody destroyed Destroyer.
Yeah. Change that R to a D.
I think it was Jerry Merritt.
Oh, man. Jerry Merritt. Rest in peace, man.
Yeah.
You remember your first Kiss Army kit. So
I don't.
I got the iron-on in that kit, and so I think that was the thing. It was crafty. It was fun. Like anything you could do, like you would get your mom or dad to help you. Because I was like 6 years old.
This is like one big commercial for Kiss merch.
yeah, right. But like, so the iron-on was a big deal. The wallet, the wallet photos of Kiss were awesome. And of course, having a membership certificate, putting your name on it, that was badass. I think I talked about my friend Ivan Moses, who like within the year we would meet and become friends. Like he's the guy that turned me on to Rock and Roll Over.
Oh, nice.
And he wasn't in the Kiss Army though, but he was older than me, and I was just kind of like I, in a sense, you feel like you're not that cool. You can't.
That's
you
funny.
Can't compete.
The shirt that I thought I was going to wear today was the Kiss Army logo that I got from Paradise Express, the Hot Topic of Flint.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
But yeah, so like I kind of hung that over Ivan's head that I was a member of the Kiss Army. Wow. And he wasn't. And he was like 8 years old.
Oh, mean.
He was big shit.
Yeah. He was
8. We were pretty mean to each other, but in the best possible way. I remember, it's funny, another digression, but thinking about Ivan Moses and thinking about that Rock and Roll Over era. And
Beans remembers.
Hi, Beans. Beans remembers. Yeah, are you talking? So, when actually removable pull tabs for your beer, we would save the pull tabs and make chains out of them.
I remember that.
I mean, we didn't say because we weren't drinking beer, but like adults would.
Yeah.
Don't drink, kids.
No. Unless it's green, like green.
Yeah, unless it's Peter's birthday.
Yes.
And so we made like a bandolier, like Peter's bandolier with pull tabs, and we thought we were the coolest because we kind of were.
It's amazing.
Later, more cool. So like getting buttons. Kiss buttons are always cool, but man, I lost all that stuff in the fire. It's like I've been able to acquire one like newsletter from probably 78 from a Kiss Army quarterly newsletter, but none of that I have anymore, and it's lost to the sands of memory. I mean, if I went through Alain's book, but I mean, I did go through that book for the first couple of years there, 76, 77, and when I saw that iron-on, that was like, oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
And the wallet photos, those were great. Okay, so that's March 16th. Moving on to...
Yes, you're right.
Moving on to March 17th. Oh, and this is where the drinking...
yes, this ain't Erin Gobra.
Yeah.
The drinking
Slancha. Happy St. Paddy's Day for those of you who celebrate. March 17th instructs us to create a green St. Patrick's Day cocktail, naming it after a Peter Criss song from his 78 solo album. So I did that, and we're gonna have it.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're gonna have it.
I thought we had it.
We're gonna have it again.
We're going to have it again. Notice how my face lights up when he mentions alcohol. Ah,
Yeah.
gimme.
Yeah. Oh yeah, give me more. A little
Give
bit
me
of little bit of Michael James Jackson produced '83 loveliness. I want to call this. That's the kind of liquor Papa likes.
That's what he wants to call it.
What do you want to call it?
I'm either going to call it a crappletini because Peter's album was crap. Never, no, it's not. Oh, I'm spilling. I got it on my leg. Or I thought of Shamrock Me, baby. I thought of it.
You could. I, on the other hand, I don't think. Let me just drink to Peter's album, Not Suckin'.
It's all right.
Cheers.
It's all right. Paul's is better.
Nope. It's a little concoction of lime juice, Rose's lime juice, vodka, and Midori, giving it that distinctive green tinge.
Now I want to hear Easy Thing all of a sudden.
Dude, I see. That was my first thought. I was going to call it Easy Thing. But turns out I don't like melon liqueur as much as I wanted to.
You know,
and it's not as easy drinking as I'd like it to be.
A Delaney driver. Go Delaney driver.
Yeah, you're like, Delaney's Irish, right?
Yeah, Delaney did 2 or 3 songs on Pete's solo record.
Plus, Making Love. I mean, anybody with a co-writing credit on Making Love? Come on. Let's drink to Sean Delaney. Can we do that?
Yes, we can. Apparently, yeah.
We might as well kill this.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
get it away from my French books.
Oh yeah.
Or my Japanese books.
Good. Japanese books compiled by French people.
Yes, Belgian.
I
believe Alain is Belgian.
Belgian waffles. You make me want to build a model of the Eiffel Tower out of Belgian.
Cheers. Hey, man. Nice kiss cocktail.
2 in a row.
Delightful. All right. So there you go.
Shamrock Me.
Crappletini or the Shamrock?
Shamrock Me. I'll be nice.
I know. The Crappletini isn't even germane to the album, sir. I said good day. All right. Where are we at here? Good gravy,
He's
Marie.
Intoxicated.
Yes. I'm cut off.
Don't try this at home.
Don't do this, kids. All right. Oh man, I forgot about this. See, this is when we didn't really. I'm just going to be shooting from the hip on this. March 18th. What new metal band from the 90s could cover a Kiss album from beginning to end?
I think we're skipping one. We skipped one.
No.
Because there was a question about, gosh darn it.
I'm not editing this podcast. No effing way.
Okay,
Can I say fuck on this podcast?
I think you can now. I think you just did. No, there was another question.
No. I think we've got them all.
I will look. Because I think I got another question.
Flag on the play. Powers protest.
He's going to edit Howie's protest. There's a Green Street, 90s, Kiss Army Kit. What's the most epic tune on Destroyer and why?
How did we miss that?
That's 50.
Oh, no. I already asked that.
Did you? No, we just talked about...
No, that's when we went down the rabbit hole of all my, Destroyer box set and why it's awesome.
But we didn't say what's right.
Oh, jeez. Man.
We looked at Destroyer, but we didn't say. Did we? Oh, wait.
No, we didn't answer the question. You're right.
Okay. Yeah, Detroit Rock City.
Jeez.
Right? Epic.
Okay, this is gonna be
And-
a slightly disjointed podcast, but I think you're all grown-ups here. I think you can follow along without too much consternation, confusion, or befuddlement. So, just to jete back to Coolsville on March 15th, what is the most epic track on Destroyer and why?
And I said Detroit Rock City just because it is the first track on the album. I mean, besides the intro, which is there, was it Bob Ezrin or Gene Simmons doing the news report? We don't know.
We don't know.
Nobody knows. Of course, Detroit
Well, wait a
Rock City.
minute. No, I thought we do know this. I thought that James Campion, who wrote the Shout It Out Loud book.
I'll have to go through it again.
I think Bob. I thought Bob said it was Bob. I do know that when I was a kid, I thought it was Gene, but I was a dumb little kid. I mean, I've heard more than one account that it was Ezrin doing the voiceover at the beginning. But
What was your epic track off Destroyer?
I tend to agree with you that it was Detroit Rock City.
But I thought you said something else earlier.
I did.
Before we rolled.
I did. Before we rolled, look at you pulling back the curtain on my shenanigans. Shout It Out Loud, man. Like, I've always been a Shout It Out Loud guy. Rock and roll all night. Cool.
That grand piano replicating the bass.
Yeah. I mean, Shout It Out Loud is heavy. I think I've actually mentioned this on another pod too, but it was Shout It Out Loud gave me the first opportunity to feel smarter than my dad, because we were going down the road in his van. My dad had already decided that Kiss was just a phase, and it was just greasy kid stuff. It was just something he tolerated me doing or being into. There came a point where I would spend weekends with my dad. My parents were divorced, and I'd always be bringing Kiss records over, and basically, kind of cramming it down his throat when he didn't really care about Kiss. But he turned up a Kiss song on the radio, and it was Shout It Out Loud. And he's like, yeah, and he starts, and I'm like, I'm just losing my mind. Like, oh my God, does my dad like Kiss now? And nope. He's like, I said, yeah. And he's like, you like this song? I'm like, how could I not? It's Kiss. He's like, no, it's not Kiss. It's Peter Frampton.
I was waiting.
My dad swore up and down it was Peter Frampton, and I'm like, I know this. I know that because I had already gotten the record. I knew.
He knew.
And he just, But yeah, I think I won. I bet my dad, and I won $5 off my dad because he swore up and down, shouted out loud as Peter Frampton. And I'm like, nope.
Wow.
So I mean, that's.
But a lot of people didn't know Beth was by Kiss. A lot of people thought that it was, some other group.
Rod Stewart.
A lot of people thought, yeah. But just saying, yeah. But as far as efficacy goes, epication, I want to say just
epicity.
Detroit Rock City, solo. Ezra wrote it. Ace figured it out. They taught Paul the harmony on the guitar solo. It's completely different from what Ace would have done. He said that Destroyer is a Bob Ezrin record, and it's pretty close. Bob Ezrin did a lot of stuff on it.
Yeah, you gotta wonder how different that guitar solo would sound
if Ace was left to his own devices.
Yeah.
Well, we know on Flaming Youth, don't we?
Yeah, true.
All right, back to the next. Where do we go now?
Yeah. Anyway, we're all jumbled up. As my friend Mark Cicchini is fond of saying, timeline is everything, and we're just fucking up the timeline.
Fucked up the timeline.
So we're jumping back to March 18th. I'll ask this question again. Maybe I'll cut out the bit where I said this earlier.
Okay, cut out the bit.
Yeah. Cut out the bit.
We don't edit.
Nah. Yeah, sometimes I do. Because I go, a lot.
Okay.
But March 18th asks, what new metal band from the 90s could cover a Kiss album from beginning to end the best?
Now, I don't know what new metal is exactly. I don't know who is...
Korn, Limp Bizkit.
Because my answers would have been either Black Veil Brides, because I know that Andy
Biersack
is a big fan. And
fan of the podcast.
And
Andy Biersack saw me at the mall and said, hey man,
nice Kiss shirt. But
no, it was actually the Machine Shop.
Okay.
And it wasn't at all. I'm lying.
Would the Melvins be considered? Because Melvins were in the 90s, weren't they? To a degree. And I think Melvins would have been able to do an album front to back.
Yeah, but they weren't. But okay, the way it's new metal, NU metal. New metal is a genre unto itself. And
System of a Down.
Yeah, like I mean,
Rage Against the Machine, maybe. No.
I don't know. And this is where I want the younger Kiss fans to
chime in, help us out.
Yes, shred our asses in the comments. Help an old man across the street.
I don't know metal. I don't know exactly.
Well, because
this is just metal that came after people stopped liking it.
Like people like us.
People like us stopped liking it, indeed.
Yeah, like metal. Oh, you want to listen to Possessed? Okay, let's do it.
Pentagram.
Pentagram, yeah. All right.
Ron Liebling.
That's a completely different and welcome conversation. Yeah.
And tied to Kiss.
I think everybody's sort of been everybody's been talking about Liebling's eyeballs last couple days.
It's like Marty Feldman fronting the band. Some people would get that.
So anyway,
Go
okay.
for it. You tell me what it is who
tell you about Bobby Liebling?
Tell me no.
No, I mean, I honestly I shrink away from that genre.
He's shrinking.
But I mean, I'm aware enough to know that, the early examples of new metal are Korn and Limp Bizkit. And the one that I like, okay, so the question asked
POD.
who could cover a Kiss album from beginning to end the best? And best being a subjective term, I like Deftones. Like, so, I mean, they would be my answer because the best means that I would listen to it. Like, if I wouldn't go to the store and buy it, how could it be the best? Right? So
Saliva.
There you go.
Maybe
Saliva, who opened for Kiss when this T-shirt was printed.
That's where. Okay, that's why it was
Saliva,
in the noggin.
Saliva, Nugent, Kiss,
Okay.
Aerosmith.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
That was
guacamole.
That was the first time
That's
I
a
saw
little-
the Smitty, man.
That's a little festival right there.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. Oh yeah.
That was some good stuff.
Beans dug it.
Uh-oh, my cat's getting into mischief again.
She's dangerously close to knocking that light right off the counter.
She's gonna. If the shit goes haywire here in a couple of minutes, blame it on the cat. But yeah, I would.
Deftones, you say?
I would. Yeah, I would love to hear. But then it's like, what's my fantasy wish list? How improbable would it be for a new metal band to do a Kiss album? Like, do I want to sort of put them in a comfortable spot and say, like, let me hear your Carnival of Souls? Not really.
No.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Carnival of Souls. I don't know how you feel about it. Not so much.
Not so much. It's It's one that doesn't really. I don't put the needle down on that.
It's a trend chaser record for Kiss.
Right.
But then again,
I'd like to hear the Melvins do the entire Love Gun record. And
Yeah.
definitely Then She Kissed Me. I'd love to hear that.
yeah.
So
Yeah. But I mean, let's, be honest. They're squarely, well, they're not squarely anything. Anyone of you out there who's a Melvins fan, you know that they run the gamut. But for intents and purposes of the pedestrian nomenclature, they are a grunge band.
Gymnasium. Pedestrian nomenclature. That's fantastic.
I love The Elder. I don't think that all of those songs would necessarily translate to a new metal wheelhouse, So I mean, like I said, again, I think something like Carnival of Souls would be the easy answer, but I'd love to hear Deftones cover Rock and Roll Over.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. I love that album so much. I'd love to hear K.D. Lang cover Rock and Roll Over. If you're out there and you've covered Rock and Roll Over, send it to me. I will enjoy it. I will find a way to like it.
I will too.
Is Joni Mitchell new metal? Because Joni Mitchell doing Rock and Roll Over would be pretty choice. Choice.
All right.
That brings us to the end.
That does.
It does.
Mercifully.
Oh, have you had quite enough?
Have you? Beans has.
My cat has had enough. Hey, Beans. She's had enough. Into the fire.
Hey, Beans. Nice Kiss shirt.
Hey, Beans. Nice Kiss shirt. What are you doing? What you doing?
Oh, she's still up there.
Look at you.
You talking
want
to me?
Say hi?
You talking to me?
You want to say hi to him?
Talk to me.
Talk to me. All right. So let's let my little girl Beans into the fold to sign off.
Take us out, Beans.
Take us out, Beans. Beans wants you to put your two lips together, and pucker up and kiss that subscribe button. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. She remembers what the Barbarian told us back in '77.
Play hard.
Play fair.
Nobody hurt.